Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast. I'm one of host Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Hey, hey.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. We are live right now on Twitch. Actually, I just got notified. You know how I did? Right. Boom. That's how
There
you
you
do it.
go.
Just like that, guys. If you can't make these live broadcasts, which we do them on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, you can always check out all of our content over on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, guys, thank you, and we would love you to subscribe if you can. Give us a like, comment. We'd love to hear from you. So, all right, guys, this is the Moviecast, and how are we doing? What are we up to, guys? Like I watched shoot, the Quiet Place prequel.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Cool.
Yeah, it was very good. Not as good as the first two movies, but I do like, it's a prequel, so it's not,
I
you
didn't
kind of
even know
know
they
where we're
made a
heading,
prequel.
obviously.
Who's in it?
Huh?
I didn't.
It's day one. It's called Day One.
Is that like
Who's in it though?
It's,
Youngo or something? What's her name?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it came out. It was a very quiet launch. It did pretty well though, actually, for these movies.
Yeah, I mean horror movies.
and-
you know,
and-
like we always say.
And it captured the vibe just fine. I just liked, I just felt like the family that we had going on, the whole story we had with that
Yeah.
in the first two was better story, but we had it was good. I enjoyed it, so it was a nice movie for this year. But yeah, so that's, I think about it for me. I don't know, I'm trying to think if I watched much else besides Dragon Ball right now, but nothing else besides. So, anything for you, Tony? What have you been watching?
Let's see. I watched a really bad movie on Netflix.
Oh no, another one?
No,
Yes.
Another one?
Well, so the thing is, like I said, like when I'm cooking or doing like chores and stuff like that, I like to put something on just in the background because and if it's not something I want to watch, right? Like if it's something I want to watch, I want to be able to pay attention. But if it's like I don't know about this one, right? Like
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Right.
Sure.
so like took me like 2 or 3 days to get through this one, doing like I said, cooking and chores and stuff like that. But it was number one, so I was like, oh, okay. And the thing is, I saw some social media discussion. I'm hesitant to say buzz because none of it was good.
Okay.
So it was one of the things I was like, wow, is it really this bad? But it's called, I think, Time Cut.
Time cut, not like time cop.
Yeah, Cut. And it's a teen horror movie where I'm trying to think of how to describe it without really spoiling it, but I assume maybe I can spoil the first couple minutes of the movie without it being a detriment. Because it's like I said, it's the first couple minutes. So it starts with like a bunch of teenagers meeting up at some party that they're celebrating a couple of their friends that got murdered, right? Like that's the intro. It's like, oh, our friends got murdered, they're dead, we're gonna have a farewell party. And then during the party, another person that is friends with that group dies mysteriously, like is murdered. And then it flashes forward like 20 years or something to the present day because this happened in like 2002, 2003. And the parents of that last victim had a second child who grew up now, and like the younger sister, right? Like always like wondered what her older sister was like and stuff like that. And the thing is, the murders were never solved. It was just kind of whatever,
Oh wow.
right? So somehow, because her dad's, I think, a physicist or something, she gets involved and somehow finds a time machine. So she goes back in time to 2003 and has the ability to save the victims, including her sister, from this killer, right? And you're like, okay, whatever, like that's a cheesy horror premise and stuff like that. But here's my problem with the movie. The problem is their depiction of 2003 is like if you fed ChatGPT saying, what were kids like in 2003, right? Because like the wardrobe is all off. Like the hairstyles are all off. The colors, like there's a bunch of teenage girls just like hanging around each other, like listening to portable CD players. I'm like, nobody ever did that. Nobody ever did that.
Portable CD players.
Right? Like nobody ever did that. What are you talking about? Like it's just so ridiculous where I'm just like, oh my God, like did they not console one person over the age of 30 for this movie? Like, come on, So it was kind of funny in that regard, just seeing like high school life and whatnot. and there are other parts of the movie that are like bad but like enjoyable, cringy, where it's like at some point she meets somebody, is like, well, how did you find out that information? She's like, oh, I saw it on Facebook. And it's like, what's Facebook? And it's like, MySpace. It's like, it's like Twitter. It's like, why are you naming things that did not exist back then, right? This is like whatever. So yeah, it was pretty bad. I saw the plot twist coming a mile away, which isn't like I'm not like patting myself on the back, but it's like, as soon as you're like, okay, well, you're only introducing so many characters, and you know that the mass killer has to be one of these characters. So process of elimination, whatever. So it was just bad. There were some interesting parts though, but it was a bad movie. It's gotten one of the worst receptions. But again, it's number one just because it's something for kids to watch, like teenage kids to watch. So congratulations, kids, you did it.
And now they're gonna think that the 2000s were this.
Yeah, exactly. But on the flip side, one good thing I have been watching on Netflix is the last Bad Boys movie.
Oh, nice. I was good. Every time I open that up, I'm like, I gotta watch at some point, and I just haven't been able to.
Yeah, I would recommend it because I'm only like 2/3 of the way through. And again, it's nothing like high art or anything like that, but it's a good, like we always talk about, summer popcorn blockbuster. Like, you're gonna see some quips, you're gonna see good cop, bad cop, that whole dynamic buddy cop. Some good action scenes. I think it was done by Michael Bay and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good. They also pull in some plot points because like we talked about with Top Gun and Karate Kid and all that, they like to get that nostalgia, like, oh, you remember, like, we're gonna make some throwback calls to like this movie or this character. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I would definitely recommend that over the first movie I talked about. Unless I said you have a teenager in your life, you're like, okay, have this baby horror movie. There you go. Or like, this is not how the 2000s were. So.
Got it. Okay. All right, Mike.
I watched the second episode of Like a Dragon Yakuza on Amazon.
Hey. How's that going?
On its own, divorced from the franchise, it's fine. It's fine for what it is, but it's not necessarily giving me any of that Yakuza vibe that I was looking for. Yeah. It's not funny. It's at all. The only thing that was like somewhat funny, and I don't even know if it was intentional, is just how like henchmen-y characters act in general. Just because they're henchmen and they're funny like that. Yeah. But we'll see. I guess I'll still watch it. There's only 4 more episodes to go, so
you might as well.
A third of the way there, I think, right?
Yeah. You might as well finish it up.
I was talking to one of my other friends about that, and they said pretty much the same thing. Like, they focused on the like Yakuza like dramatic angle of the storyline, and they're like, if you view it as like an AU, like, which stands for like alternate universe kind of thing, and you can divorce it from the main series, it can be enjoyable. But if you're like, I wanted a good adaptation, then yeah, it's going to be disappointing, which is valid.
Sounds to me like exactly what we talked about before. Is like the creator did not really want to have an influence from the game. They wanted their own thing, and it's like, oh, we hear Yakuza. It's probably serious mafia type stuff. So let's do that. That's what.
That's really all they made.
It's weird because I thought Sega was really involved in this. I'll have to go look up.
I thought they were too.
Afterwards because.
Well,
it's surprising.
There's one thing. I saw like a clip that there is karaoke somewhere, which I thought they originally said there wasn't. But the first 2 episodes, it's pretty straight-laced. And again, my biggest issue is just the sort of spirit of the characters is a little off. Like, I wouldn't mind if the plot is different. Actually, that might be interesting to me, a new plot. But
the vibe's not there.
The spirit of the characters.
Yeah, the vibe's not there.
Off.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't encompass the goofiness of it, right? There's no, like, you don't get that. So there's no goofiness, and also Kiryu is just not quite Kiryu. Yeah, they should just, if they had focused on a new character for this and did their thing, but they should have still captured the the quirkiness of the series. That kind of is a major part of it. So but I think they should have focused on another character. I really do. I think that was a mistake. So
I'll probably watch it. It just, the thing when they're like, the episode came out and it's like only 6 episodes. I'm like, how like you can't, like, I'm pretty sure even if you did like a just the cutscenes back to back, it would probably take as much time as the 6 episodes in total. So it's just like, how are you going to do a faithful, adaptation, right? It's just like, come on.
We'll see if it gets as like dramatic and like soap opera-y, even the serious parts of those games do. I mean, we're there a little bit here. We're getting in the second episode some. There's also this sort of weird flash forward, flash backward format they're doing, which it's a little just jumbled to me, but I guess that's part of what they're doing. And also part of the thing, another thing I like about the story is the flash forward is not that far forward either. It's back to the beginning of the series, but we're flashing back another 10 years before that as well. So it's like 95 and 2005 is when it's taking place.
Okay.
So whatever. Again, not many episodes, so I think I'll see this one out, unlike that Turtles one where I just got bogged down by all the Paramount Plus ads. I couldn't continue watching something I was only slightly interested in, but hopefully this one I can get through at least the form of proper opinion on as a whole. I kind of want to have that.
What I thought was interesting, I forget if I mentioned this on the podcast, I watched it over the summer. There was a movie adaptation of a manga called City Hunter. And again, I forget if I mentioned.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, that was what I was hoping the Yakuza movie would, or the adaptation here would be like, because in that, it's like, he's not a gangster, but he's a cop instead. But, like, he plays fast and loose by the rules. Like, he's very wacky and stuff like that. And that actor did a great job. So I was like, oh, if they just apply this thing, which is a famous, like, series, to the Yakuza, like, I see it working, right? And so now I'm going to go and be like, they definitely did it with this movie. Why couldn't you do this with this series? So, we'll see.
All right. Corey?
Actually didn't get to really watch anything new this week. Just been listening to audiobooks since I've been doing the move stuff.
Got it. All right, box office, Venom, The Last Dance, $25.9 million for the weekend. That was number one.
Better than I expected, actually.
Doing well, actually, worldwide. Doing very well worldwide. So
is this first or second weekend?
Second weekend.
Yeah.
Worldwide, though, like, it's not going to do well domestic, but it's somehow getting the international draw. So.
Did we mention the first week? I don't remember what that was.
We did.
Yeah, we talked about it.
We did. Because we were arguing about whether it was more than.
I was gone. I think that was.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you disconnected, I think, or something. Yeah.
So, oh my God, this cat.
But it's it's domestically it's closing in on 100, but internationally it's over 200. So.
Yeah, I guess they're not as sick of the Sony universe across the world. I guess. I
think like the international audience really just like the dynamic between.
Venom and
Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. Where it's like, cool, it's whack.
Yeah, the buddy thing. Yeah. All right. Let's get into some news. Let's see what we got going on in the world. Last week, a little like after the podcast, we had the new trailer drop for Squid Game.
Yep.
Season 2, premiering December 26th on Netflix. What are you guys thinking? How's the vibe for that one?
Can't wait.
I can't wait too, but I think the best picture was like the picture of him from season 1 when he's smiling, and then the picture of him in season 2. I think
it's such a meme. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like it's like
me
on the first day of the job, and like me like 6 months in. It's like, that's exactly how it is.
Yeah. So, oh my God. I think it looks really good. It's going to be very interesting to see where this goes with the story. So we're gonna see. My cat is destroying my Legos behind me. I'm gonna have to kick him out of the room while we're on this call. But yeah, so what do you guys think, Corey? Excited?
I'm very excited. I'm excited to see where they go. I actually just started watching the trailer. I was like, well, I don't really need to watch the trailer. So I turned it off.
I was hesitant to watch it too because it was like, I mean, I already know I want to watch it, so
right, exactly.
Something like that.
So I was like, I'll skip it just to. So I saw like the first 10 seconds of it, but that's like, I don't need to know. It's gonna be good. We've been waiting a while. I mean, wait feels like
we have. It's been a long wait. So, I don't know. I'm hoping it's good.
Oh.
Mike, did you watch? You didn't watch the first season of this, right? This is like, I think again, like a show I think you would really love. I mean, it's subtitled, but I think you really would enjoy. We talked about that last week, subtitles, but I think you would enjoy this show quite a bit, actually. I think
I'm surprised Ashley didn't
the
want to watch
the draw's
this.
so good. The draw's so good.
I don't know. I didn't like. It just doesn't seem like my type of thing, honestly.
No, I get that. But I'm surprised Ashley didn't want to watch this because it's like, I think there's a large female demographic of murder game, whatever mystery thing.
No, she likes the real stuff.
Oh, the real. Gotcha. Okay.
They made a reality show based on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. She likes those documentary things about like
Yeah.
real killers and stuff like that. Yeah.
But speaking of like a series that's coming out finally with a sequel, that we waited. I forgot to mention I didn't finish a rewatch of Arcane, which is just man. Some of those scenes still
You
like
mentioned it a little bit last week. You
Yeah.
were rewatching it.
yeah. So did it in 3 episode increments and wrapped it up this weekend. But man, some of those scenes still hit pretty damn hard. Where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know what's gonna happen. I don't need to cry. It's like maybe I do.
From early reports, there's a lot of that in season 2. So
Yeah, they're
I haven't heard
saying
any.
this-
I have no specifics. I'm not spoiling anything. I
I
just
like
heard.
the way that show ends too. You're just like, right? You're gonna do that to us? Just you're gonna do that? Oh, it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So can't wait. That's this week.
I'll never forget you calling her a diet Harley Quinn, Jim. I'll never forgive that.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mistakes were made.
No. I get from like a design. You're like, okay, yeah.
Going by impressions.
But I was like, Jim, you need to watch. You need to finish.
Without
And the-
knowing anything, I could see
Yeah,
someone coming to that conclusion.
Well, it's obviously the design. Like they're like,
there's an influence.
there's an influence, yeah, and stuff like that. But it's like, man, I care more about this character than like 30 years of the other character. It's like,
Well, yeah. I mean, the short period of time we get to spend with the character and really learn about who the character is, you realize there's way more going on than just that Coke of Harley Quinn. Or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. It's like 2/3 of the time you've been just the girlfriend of the main Batman villain, and the other third you're a anti-hero, Suicide Squad person? Question mark.
Yeah.
You get your own show and you're
Knows what she
kind
is
of
now.
hero, not hero. I don't know.
We don't know what she's doing right now in comics, but all right.
Comics. Who reads comics?
I don't know.
There's some good ones, storylines out
There's
there.
some good
right
ones
now.
out there.
I'm sure there are, but
They
who
just
reads them?
rebooted DC again.
You know what I did? I can talk about it on here. I had extra credits because Audible got me and I forgot to cancel.
Oh
before they gave
shoot!
me
Thank you. I have
credits.
to check mine.
Yeah. I even set the reminder and I just forgot to do
Shit.
it after the reminder.
I'm
It's
doing
on.
it
It's
right.
on me entirely. So I actually bought one of those. I bought Secret Wars. Marvel Secret
nice.
Wars. They've converted it to a dramatization like radio show.
Yeah.
It's really good what they're doing with comic books to audio. Like it's they have voice actors, they have sound effects, they have the descriptions basically of what's going on in the panel. Like I thought it reminds me of Corey of the Batman
Right.
Nightfall. Very much so. And I'm pretty happy I grabbed it because I'm like, I could go for more of these. I'm halfway through it already. It's only like a 6-hour read. Not huge.
Right.
But I'm listening to it obviously, not listening.
Yeah.
But it's good. I've never heard the story too, so it's kind of cool to finally get the Secret Wars story.
Which Secret Wars is it?
It's
newer
the first
one or the
one.
older one?
It's the older one. It's the older one. So, which is cool. I'm kind of interested in that. It's like I have a feeling we're gonna get a mix, so we'll see. I think it's the older one. It's the one with Galactus and Doctor Doom and the Beyonder. Is that the older one?
Well, Beyonder and Doctor Doom. Well,
Yeah,
Thanos is
and
like
getting
Doctor
the
Doom was the
X-Men.
newer one. Thanos
Yeah.
was the first one.
Oh no, Thanos is in it. So yeah, at least. But
Okay.
this is about them coming to a planet like Battle World.
Well, this is a new one then.
Okay,
Is there-
it's a new one. So it's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, it's the new. I mean,
didn't
you
know
could
that. It
just
looked
tell
like
by
the
the
older
art. Like,
It looked like the older one. I'm sorry. but
Really?
I thought the art looked older. Yeah, I thought the art looked. But I know it's an older comic book either way. But I thought the art looked older.
no, I mean, like one is like 1980s art,
Yeah, I thought.
and
what
one
it
is like
looked
2010, like 2010s art.
Mm. This looks older than that, but
Is Doom?
anyways,
Like
Doom is trying to learn the Beyonder's powers to capture them, essentially. So, and
Okay.
Professor X just took his team. He decided to side with Magneto. So
Oh no, that's
that's
the that is the old series then.
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Okay, good. So I am reading. I'm going through the original. That's what I
Okay.
thought. The art looks old.
Yeah, at that
So that's why I was like, okay.
there's a point where Wolverine yells at Captain America in that.
Like,
Because Captain America is like, I'm not going to side with Magneto. He's a supervillain.
Yeah.
It's like, Scarlet Witch? Like,
Yeah.
Hawkeye? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like,
there's a point where Storm is having a Thunderbolt battle with Thor. It was just like she's just like they're actually playing target practice in the comic book. It was pretty cool. So,
okay.
Yeah. So it's the older one. But
Okay, yeah.
cool. No, so I did that. But, anyways, what were we talking about? I
Box
sidetracked
office.
us. Box office into the movies. So, speaking of other news, as a Gamecast as well, Paul W.S. Anderson has been pegged to write and direct a new House of the Dead film.
Cool.
What do we think?
I'm all for it.
Well,
So
he's
we're
he's the
gonna
Resident Evil guy. So
yeah, we're gonna elevate House of the Dead from Bowl to
Louis Bowl, yeah.
the Resident Evil level.
Look, I still stand by that House of the Dead movie being a good, bad movie.
It probably was the
so
strongest Louis
bad,
Bowl
it's
movie.
good.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the movie starts with a Sega-sponsored rave. So, like, you know, how could you go wrong with that? Or, like,
Yeah,
the infamous line that will live in my head rent. Like, I will never be able to forget this. It's one of those stupid things where it's like, the one character's talking to the villain. It's like, he's like, I'll be immortal. It's like, why? Why did you do it? He's like, to live forever. And it's like, you just explained that. Why are you repeat? You're just saying the same thing in a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't think he knew what immortal meant.
Maybe.
And you got Lois Lane in that too. So
Yeah. This take, according to Paul W.S. Anderson, is an action-packed film. So he's going to
Good.
try to follow the way the games brought you through it, like a railed, not like bring you on rails, but that
We're gonna get a
fast-paced action.
first-person view.
We
Oh
probably
God,
will.
I hope
I
so.
like it.
I hope we get that other infamous line, "Suffer like G did."
So it's everyone's
He
going to
also
get
did
frustrated with the
the
action.
Monster Hunter movie too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
bad. I heard. I didn't even watch it, but I heard it was really
It
bad.
looked like nothing like.
Yeah.
They have basically 90 minutes to basically escape the most extreme haunted house you've ever been in.
Cool.
That's his.
Huh? I
Could be
think
fun.
the horror side of things would make, or not necessarily horror, but scarier side.
No, it's definitely horror. I mean, like fucking, there's zombies and.
No, I'm
Absolutely.
saying like he didn't really do horror with Resident
Oh,
Evil.
yeah, I got you. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Action horror.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got. Let's see what else we've got going on. Let's go with a new Godzilla movie has been greenlit. This is the Godzilla -1 movie. Takahashi Yamazaki's directing.
Yeah, the team director.
So a new movie has been greenlit in that universe. Super exciting. Like this is a passionate group that is awesome to hear they're going to get another chance at another one. It's awesome. I'm excited. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Like, it was kind of clear that they had struck gold with that last movie, and I mean, winning the Oscar when they didn't even like submit it. Like, it took a staff member being like, "Come on, it's like $500. It's like, let's just submit it." It's $500 or whatever. And it's like, wow, cool, we wound up winning.
I think it's cool too. It's just like, I'm curious though to see if they give them more money and be like, oh, here, and then like creativity goes down. That's like the worry. But I think they'll be okay.
No, yeah.
I would be curious to see what what they do with a little more money too.
I hope so, because like the director even said, like he turned down a lot of projects.
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted the tweet in the Discord. I don't know if it made it to the news channel, but he's like, yeah, I turned down a lot of things, and I wish I could talk about them, but I can't. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, you're picking
and
the
then after you make a hit like that and do it on a budget like you did, people are gonna be like, hey, make something for us now,
Yeah.
please.
How'd you
So
do
it's
that?
cool we're getting another Godzilla movie. And
It's like you just had a guy in a suit.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and the effects in that movie were fantastic.
Oh, they were amazing. Like,
It was
didn't feel like
unbelievable what they
budget
pulled
at
off.
all.
It's unbelievable what they pulled off.
I mean, some of the
That's
stuff
why
that
it's like,
Marvel and DC has done in the past couple of years, you're just like, that looks so bad, and you have like a
Yeah,
$200 million
compared to this,
budget.
it's like,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
it is why only a select few know of the actual budget for
Yeah.
Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's like, I don't want to have that restriction on movies that I do.
Yeah.
And I get that. And he'll get a little better one with this, I'm sure, because it did so well. I just hope that doesn't affect it. I love what they did with the first one, so let's just keep
Yeah,
it like
it's
keep it like
more
that.
about the people on the ground.
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
cool. So
Make that monster terrorizing and keep it about the people. So cool. Now let's go to Tom Cruise. Two things for Tom Cruise this week. Mission Impossible 8's coming soon. We know this. It's the part. It was going to be part 2. They called it Mission Impossible 8. I think now whatever they've dropped part 2.
it's a cliffhanger. So
Yeah, ended on that. But budget near $400 million, guys.
How?
This was a part 2, and this movie right here is $400 million, which means grand total I think it's going to be like 650. If you the first one was like 250 if I remember right. They destroyed it. They built a train from scratch and destroyed it. That's what that train sequence that was destroyed was built because it was cheaper than buying one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So 400. I mean, how do you expect to make that back? Like, what are you doing? Like, there's no chance you're making that back. You could do $1 billion, right? And you're break even essentially.
Yeah, I
right?
don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if we know the exact timetable of when, because they split it in, what, 2 pieces? Or was it 3? I forget.
Parts. Yeah, 2 parts.
This is part 2, yeah.
Right, but if part of it started during the pandemic, they might be lumping some of the delays from that into this. Which, if that is true, and I'm not saying it is, but if it is true, I can kind of commend that, honestly, because, like, remember, Tom Cruise was one of the first, like, actually, I think his team was the first that was able to start shooting again during the pandemic. There's that leaked audio clip where he was, like, yelling at some people because they weren't taking it seriously, and he's like, you know, if we mess this up, you know, like, you're all, like, nobody's going to have jobs, and nobody else is going to, like, in the industry is going to be able to film movies, so, you know, take it seriously and stuff like that. So if that's the case, then I can commend that, where it's like, if Tom Cruise is, like, really pushing for the whole team to have their jobs and stuff like that, then that's cool, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, Paramount, you know, losing some money, no sweat off my back, you know, versus, like, their, you know, staff having jobs and stuff like that. Because at the same time, you look at it and they have to want to keep Tom Cruise happy, right? Because they're like, we want Top Gun 3, man. Like, what do you got to do? What do we got to do to get Top Gun 3, right?
I'm about to go into another one from him. So, like, before I get to that, though, like, he's 60, was he 62 right now? 63? He's in the 60s. That's for certain. So they were going to make this the last Mission Impossible movie, and he's outright refusing that because he wants this character to go on, and he's like, he wants to play this character into his 80s. So they can't even use the last movie as their, like, the last Ethan Hunt movie because he wants to keep doing it. So give him credit, and he does his own stunts, which has to stop soon. At his age, but even Jackie Chan slowed down, right? So yeah, but the other news here is that he's looking at, and it sounds like it's happening, Days of Thunder sequel.
I mean, probably was like, Maverick did so well, let's see if we can do something with this Days of Thunder thing.
Yeah, I mean
that's what
you
it
talk
feels
about
like.
Top Gun. They want Top Gun 3, and you know he's going Days of Thunder 2. I don't know. Capture it again? Can they do it again?
Well, both those movies were before my time, but I get the sense that Days of Thunder was nothing compared to Top Gun as far as popularity.
Probably not, but they're great movies on their own.
But...
They're both great films. I believe I've watched Days of Thunder more actually than Top Gun.
This is the racing movie.
Yeah,
right?
going back to watchability. I think Days of Thunder is a more watchable film over and over again.
Really?
Yeah, I'll go that far.
Yeah, Telfe just talked to us in chat, said, I think back in the day, Days of Thunder was literally marketed as Top Gun on wheels. So thank you for the comment, and that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But I stand by it. Like, I think it was more fun. I think it was a more fun film. And there's drama, don't get me wrong, but I think, I don't know, that might be right, Telfe. That might be right.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest, like, right before Top Gun Maverick came out, I rewatched Top Gun 1. I was like, this has not aged well. This is not aged well. Like, it's iconic. I can absolutely agree. Like, at the time, it was probably really good, but, like, these days, I'm just like, it's whatever. Like, it's definitely a must-watch, but I'm, like, not excited to rewatch it ever again. Whereas Maverick, I could totally do a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I am excited for another Top Gun movie, but, like, I am kind of interested to see what they can pull with this now, because it's like, the old movies are getting a good run right now. You know what I mean? Like the remakes, not the remakes, but the late sequels, the movies you didn't think you'd ever get. So we'll see. But I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. I think that's. Is that the news? Let me go back to the news here. I think that's all we got. Did I miss anything? Nope. That's I got everything today. Yeah. So that's it for the Moviecast, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Once again, we're live on Twitch. Stay tuned for the Gamecast coming up next. You can hear my thoughts. Star Wars Outlaws. We'll be talking about that shortly. So stay tuned on that. Once again, we're on YouTube as well. So if you're watching this there, please subscribe. We'll see you guys on the Gamecast. We're out.